Amidst the foggy pages of history, there emerges a group remembered with both fear and awe. In the dark times of the Middle Ages, this sect of assassins left an indelible mark on the Islamic world, not just with their actions but with their very name. Founded in the 11th century by Hasan Sabbah, the group was more than just a collection of killers. They were devoted followers of a mystical belief. High up in the mountains, nestled in the impenetrable fortress of Alamut, Sabbah built a legend. Their story was not just one of swords and shadows. It was a tale woven with faith and strategy. What made them powerful wasn't just their sharp daggers. It was their unwavering belief, their discipline, and the brilliance of their leader. Hashashin. The rise of the Hashashins begins with Hasan Sabbah's capture of the Alamut Fortress. Sabbah, a brilliant strategist, not only founded a religious sect but also a political movement. Assassination, in his hands, became not merely a means of killing but a tool of psychological warfare. Sabbah's genius lay in how he ruled through fear, controlling his enemies by instilling dread in their hearts. According to legend, Sabbah would show his followers glimpses of paradise, promising them eternal bliss in exchange for their ultimate loyalty. These devotees believed their mission on earth was sacred, and they acted without hesitation. The Hashashins turned assassination into an art form. The way they approached their targets, gained their trust, and executed their meticulously planned strikes was nothing short of masterful. Sultans, viziers, crusader commanders, all lived in fear of the Hashashins. One of their most infamous assassinations was the murder of Nizam al-Mulk, the Grand Vizier of the Seljuk Empire. Considered the mind behind the empire's policies, Nizam al-Mulk's assassination was a clear message: no one was untouchable. The history of the Hashashin is not limited to Hasan Sabbah. One of their most significant figures was Rashid ad-Din Sinan, also known as the Old Man of the Mountain. Sinan was known as the leader of the Hashashin in Syria and had a considerable influence, especially during the time of the Crusades. Sinan spread the Hashashins' influence in the mountainous regions of Syria and gave orders for many significant assassinations. He was assigned this task by orders he received from Alamut. Sinan settled in Syria's mountainous areas and quickly became a fearsome leader. In the rugged and challenging paths of the mountains, Sinan's Fedayeen were constantly on the move to carry out assassination orders. These Fedayeen would secretly approach their enemies, eliminate them in one swift move, and then vanish. Sinan took Hasan Sabbah's assassination strategies and advanced them further. One of his most well-known assassinations was the killing of Conrad of Montferrat, a crusader leader. Sinan made the Hashashins' assassination strategies known to the Western world, elevating their notoriety. According to legend, Sinan even attempted to negotiate a peace agreement with Richard I of England, the crusader leader of the time. Sinan's intelligence and diplomatic skills made him not only a master of assassination but also a political leader. The Hashashin were notable not only for their assassinations but also for the political alliances they sometimes formed. Sinan's leadership played a crucial role in leaving a lasting legacy for the Hashashin. The assassination of Conrad of Montferrat and his diplomatic contacts with the English king demonstrate the broad scope of his leadership abilities. Sinan greatly contributed to the legendary reputation of the Hashashin by making their assassination techniques known in the Western world. On the other hand, the Alamut Fortress was not just a military base. It was also a center of learning. Sabbah trained his young disciples there, molding them into not just assassins but warriors with unshakable faith. The Hashashins' greatest weapon was perhaps not their dagger, but their devotion to their cause. Dying for Sabbah's orders was considered an honor. The sect was rooted in the Nizari branch of Shia Islam. Sabbah's radical interpretation of this belief system allowed him to establish a powerful group that quickly spread across the region. Their reach extended beyond the Islamic world, striking fear into the hearts of crusaders as well. European soldiers and commanders were so terrified of the Hashashins' expert assassinations that countless legends about the group arose. One of the most famous myths was that they would consume hashish before a kill, creating a state of euphoria and invincibility. While the truth of these legends is uncertain, they certainly added to the Hashashins' mystique and fearsome reputation. But as with all powers, the reign of the Hashashins came to an end. Their fall was as sudden and tragic as their rise. In the 13th century, the Mongols laid siege to Alamut, reducing the legendary fortress to rubble. After Hasan Sabbah's death, the group had already begun to lose its influence, and they could not withstand the Mongols' fierce assaults. The Hashashins disappeared into the shadows of history. However, their legacy persisted. The very word assassin derives from them, and the methods they employed have inspired secret organizations throughout history. The Hashashins were not merely a sect of assassins. They were warriors willing to sacrifice their lives for their beliefs. Their story is one of power, faith, and strategy, and their legacy remains a haunting reminder of how a small, devoted group can shake the foundations of empires. Through the shadows of history, the Hashashins whisper to us, power is not only wielded by the sword, but also by belief and intellect. And sometimes, the shadow of an unseen dagger is enough to make the greatest empires tremble.